in Jeremiah 17:5, it says, "Cursed is the man who trusts in man and makes flesh his strength." It says his heart will ultimately depart from God. Why would it depart from God? Because no man made you, only God made you. Only God can be your source. And when you make a fake, pseudo, gray area you lose the real you. That's why you don't feel genuine when you walk away from conversations. That's why you're worried, because that fake person that you made to make sure you fit in with everything and say everything right and everyone's at peace with you, that fake person that you made can never be fulfilled because God never made that person. That person's not real. And the person who thinks that way becomes cursed in their thinking because they don't know what to share. They don't know how to express the real them. And you know what I say to people all the time? I say, listen, if you're trying to get everyone's favor and you're living for that way, but you're not living for the favor of your Father in heaven, if you're living that way and you want to be identical to some other Christian and follow their path and et cetera, and be favored the way they are, all that stuff is just competing for dead apples. That's not your tree. And I say to people, if two of you become identical in this world, one of you is unnecessary. You may as well go home. You were made you for a reason. You were made in the image of God for a reason, and you weren't made to apologize for how God made you. And you certainly weren't made to fear and to make people a source. You were made for Him. So all of a sudden, I lost it. I mean, I fell down in my lounge room there, my bedroom there. I fell down and I started repenting. I said, God, I am so sorry. I am as bold as a lion when it comes to being on the street, but with Christian leaders, with people that can give me something back. I have this hook in my love. I say, I love you, I'll serve you, but there's a hook in there that says, you better love me back. I'm feeding on the wrong source. And I said, because of that, Lord, I'm limiting the truth in myself. I'm limiting myself. I'm limiting you inside me because I'm afraid if I be too wild in certain circumstances, I won't have ministry opportunities. I said, God, I don't know where I learned to feed like this. I remember spending hours one time on Instagram looking at who liked my stuff. Now, let's not say we never have done that before. Of course we have. The whole generation we live in fractionalizes their identity based on a love heart. Oh, I'm not sure, I'm not feeling great. Why not? Because I've been friends with that guy for 2 years and he still hasn't followed me. What a joke. The guy sits at your coffee table once a week. The enemy is strategic. He wants you to think that you need everybody's opinion to form you. You need God's. The Lord showed me, he said, Ben, I'm so in love with my family that each individual, like Lisa said the other day, they're without rival. Each individual was fashioned by me. There's another hand at work in the world. It's trying to potter you as well. It's trying to, like she said, unmake you from what God made you. When you lose that original design, when you lose this love relationship with Him, and you actually feel, when you lose the feeling of being okay and having peace in your heart, and I actually like myself, not that we exalt ourselves, we exalt Christ in us, but I actually like being me instead of trying to pretend and follow someone else's path and trying to get what they have and all that kind of stuff. When you live that way, where you actually like yourself, all of a sudden this genuineness hits you and people like you as well. All the rejection I experienced, every bit of rejection came when I tried to fake it. All the acceptance I experienced, all the blessing I experienced came when I tried to be real. When I didn't care. When I said, God, I'll surrender my life to you and the opinions of people will no longer be my source of feeding. I'm not gonna watch who does and doesn't like me. I'm not gonna live for that stuff anymore, Jesus. And you know what? This doesn't maybe apply to you in the church. Some of you are like, I never think that way with my pastor, or if my pastor comes and doesn't shake my hand, that doesn't bother me at all. Well, for me it did. It put me in self-punishment. I thought something's wrong with me. I'm not enough. I haven't done enough. I posted something about a wrong post on Facebook on theology and they don't like me anymore. Well, who cares? I mean, I care that we would have honor for one another. You know the strangest thing that happened is I had double honor for leaders after this, double honor. Because my leadership honor before was, I'll honor you so I can be honored. When you're free of that stuff and you actually see the beauty in every individual believer and you experience a little bit of a taste of how God's tapestry works so perfectly in every individual believer, all of a sudden you feel free of that. You feel free of the need to please them, and that way you can give them double honor because you're not sucking from people to get your value.